Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Vampire Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we had some very exciting news. We found out that the Masters match is expecting kittens, which I was so happy to learn. And we're gonna continue seeing how things go in this episode. Obviously, we're just preparing for the birth that is going to come next time round. So we're not having litters just yet, or we're not having any kittens just yet, but we are in preparation mode. So let's start off in the leader's den, where things are still looking hostile between us and the vampire hunters, even though there have been whispers, among their kind that maybe they should make peace with us. Going on to events, Vampire Clan and Day Clan tried to have a calm negotiation about the conflict at the last gathering, but it led nowhere except to a waste of time. So I'm thinking that maybe Day Clan and the other vampire hunters, they finally invited Vampire Clan to one of their gatherings, which is normally kind of closed off to us and kept private within their own numbers. But they invited the vampires there for the express purpose of negotiating this peace with them. And I think probably because our clan is feeling very protective, obviously of Blue Jay's condition, and the future kittens that are going to be here, they were not willing to give in, right? They were not willing to make any sort of advantageous agreements to the vampire hunters, because everything that the three vampire hunter clans were proposing, I think, would have been advantageous to them and disadvantageous to us. And maybe they were saying that, for the hunters to maybe stop hunting the vampires would have to kind of close themselves off in the ruins and swear not to go outside and interact with anyone else. But we know that the vampires, they do need to go out to find resources, they do need to go out to find initiates, and also they do need to go out for the occasional non-vampiric kittens and queens that they find whose blood they can drink, right? They have certain urges. So the vampires are not willing to do any of this, and I have no doubt that the hunting clans would have also asked Vampire Clan to return one of their vampire hunting apprentices that we accepted into Initiate Clan, and obviously a Vampire Clan is not going to give in that regard either. So yeah, that kind of fell out. That whole negotiation fell out. It was calm, but it was a waste of time. None of the cats attacked each other, but it was a complete waste of time. And then Blue Jay is hoping for a big litter, and this makes me so happy because I feel like, I don't know for how many pregnancies I've had across different clans of late, all of the cats want small litters and we end up getting small litters, but it's kind of nice to see that Blue Jay is hoping for a big litter. Obviously we've had cases where a cat has wanted a big litter and they've gotten something really tiny, or they've wanted a tiny litter and they've gotten something really big. But I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful that Blue Jay is going to give us a ton of kittens. Last time we had 2. It would be nice if we had 3 or more. But I think Blue Jay, with the nightmare almost that she had in the last episode, I'm wondering if maybe Blue Jay is now feeling worried about how many of her children are going to survive. And because of that, she wants to have as many kittens as possible so that at least some of them have a chance of surviving this brutal environment. But okay, how are our cats doing? They seem to be okay. And then let's see. Medicine Cat Den. Hazel Pelts gathered tansy, dandelion, lungwort, and goldenrod this moon. Now let's take a look at relationships. Grandmaster Shivering Star won't back down when defending Blue Jay on something. Look at that. I think this also very much goes into the negotiations that we talked about, that Grandmaster Shivering Star, he is unwilling to let the vampire hunters take advantage of the vampires' low numbers and weaknesses and convince them to basically close themselves off. And I think that is, probably because he's feeling protective over Blue Jay's condition. There is a female vampire in the clan that is getting ready to have more vampire kittens, and we want those kittens to have a thriving life. Not just a peaceful life where they are locked up and, trapped. We want them to thrive. Okay, Master Burnleaf and Quiet Flight work together to make sense of something a clanmate said. Master Burnleaf and Blue Jay saw something hilarious during a patrol and can't stop giggling about it. Look at that! I think the pregnancy has definitely brought Burnleaf and Blue Jay together a bit more, which is very nice to see. Twilight Fade sees Lightsong be kind to one of Twilight Fade's friends. Twilight Fade realized that he was too harsh in his judgment of Lightsong. Grandmaster Shivering Star and Twilight Fade had a great time on a patrol. Grandmaster Shivering Star loses in a race against Hazelpelt and acts bitterly about it. Lightsong and Hazelpelt share stories of a clanmate they didn't realize they both miss. When a clanmate passes by holding stinking herbs, both Quiet Flight and Dusty Paw gag. Hazelpelt scoffed loudly at one of Blue Jay's suggestions. Hazelpelt doesn't think Dusty Paw's weird joke was just a joke. And Blue Jay respects Dusty Paw's opinion despite disagreeing with it. So that's all we have for the events, so let me cut the recording here and we'll continue with the cat list. Okay, let's resume with our cat list. So starting off with loyalties, we have had a slight change. Hazelpelt is now a loyalist of the Grandmaster once more, most definitely because he was very impressed with how Shivering Star stood up for Blue Jay and how he wasn't backing off from the vampire hunters and giving too many concessions about the way vampires are supposed to live within the ruins, stay essentially trapped within the ruins without any contact with the outside world. And I don't know, but I kind of feel like the vampire hunters may be hoping that if the vampires are locked in here and trapped in here, eventually the urges might lead them to infighting and, killing each other without the vampire hunters having to lift their paws. And Shivering Star, thinking ahead, felt to himself, because he's got helpful insight and steady paws, so I think with that insight he kind of realized what the vampire hunters were trying to corner them into, and he said, no, this is not the life I want for my vampires and also the vampires that are going to be born through Blue Jay. So I think that definitely won some points for Hazelpelt. So that aside, we haven't had any major changes to relationships. We obviously don't have any whispering to do either. So why don't we just go ahead and see what everyone is doing for the day? Grandmaster Shivering Star is counting how many lives he has left. He has all 9 of his lives. He has not lost even a single at this point, but he is getting up there in age. He's 160 moons. So I wonder if he's getting a little bit concerned about how much time he might have with the clan, and he is trying to think of how many things he can do for them. What can he have put in place and lay down the groundwork before he's no longer here to guide them? And I know not too long ago we were literally thinking that it's time for Shivering Star to go. He must leave, he must die, as grim as that is, because he is essentially the whole reason for why we're having so many wars and, the constant pestering and sabotaging of the vampire hunters kind of drew their ire. So even though that's how we were feeling quite a few episodes back, I feel like recently he has been stepping up quite a bit in being very protective of the clan. So right now, he's in my good books. He's in my good books right now. Okay. Burnleaf, Master Burnleaf, feels intrigued by a recent challenge and is strategizing solutions. Okay, so maybe Burnleaf is also thinking about what Shivering Star came across during the gathering, and he's trying to figure out ways they can continue with the current war and continue to protect their clan members and his children that are going to be born and his match, because obviously the vampires and the vampire hunters have made it clear that peace is not currently on the table. Hazelpelt is hoping he finds an opportunity to slip back to his nest. Twilight Fade saw a pair of 2 legs near camp today. Blue Jay swears she saw a frog riding a bird just the other day. Honey, you must have been dreaming. You must have been dreaming, Blue Jay. Quiet Flight wants to compliment Blue Jay's fighting techniques again for a second moon in a row, I think, if not the moon beforehand. But yeah, Quiet Flight, actually no, I think this was the moon beforehand, but Quiet Flight, like moon before Lost, she had this same thing that she was doing. But that's kind of nice that she is still kind of checking in with Blue Jay in the nursery to make sure she's staying fit and healthy. Lightsong is feeling motivated, and Dusty Paw saves the softest bedding for her own nest. Okay, so that's all we have for the cat list. Let me cut the recording here and we'll continue with patrols. Let us resume with our patrols. We currently have 72 prey and we need 21.5, so we don't have to worry about food. We'll send out our Nightstalker Hazelpelt first off to see what he comes across. The thick growth of green leaf will serve Vampire Clan well today. Hazelpelt decides, thinking about gathering elder leaves. There's a particular tree in a sheltered dip along a stream he wants to check on today. Proceed. Unfortunately, the elder tree Hazelpelt has picked out seems to have a bug infestation of some kind, and he doesn't want to use these tattered, diseased-looking leaves. Okay, fair enough. And then we have a patrol of 5, with Grandmaster Shivering Star, his apprentice Dusty Paw, who is keeping very close to him, his fledgling and daughter. Then we have Master Burnleaf, we have Quiet Flight, and we have Lightsong. So let's send these guys out and see what they come across. As the patrol gathers together to train under Shivering Star's leadership, Master Shivering Star's, Lightsong admits she thinks she had a vision from Star Clan last night. I think this is the second patrol in a row where cats are having visions. Proceed, and no one can make sense of the vision just like last time, except this time they didn't manage to catch anything either. But I think this was a training patrol. So again, Shivering Star. Not only is he refusing to back down with the Vampire Hunters during negotiations, but we saw this in the last episode, we saw this in the episode beforehand. He is keeping his daughter and apprentice in like the safest scenarios. He's not even taking the clan out on any sort of dangerous patrols or patrols where they might end up in a questionable situation. He's literally sticking to the stuff that he knows is going to be safe for everyone. Look at him. He's being like really extra careful and caring, you know, and I can appreciate that. But okay guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.